Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Level Up Academy podcast, Level Up Circle TV. So, today we have a little bit of switch. You will notice that it's not going to be Jason. Jason had a family emergency last minute last night, so he couldn't make it today. However, I had a conversation with him so we can stick to the theme because I really want to know your opinion and thoughts about this as well. Navigating a brick and mortar business today, it's very difficult, right? And a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to show you. There's Jason. He owns this store in the local North County area called Candyland. He's next to the movie theater, actually. And we're just shopping for, for snacks and stuff. But he creates stuff. And I'm going to talk to you guys about this today in details. He told me exactly, how he himself navigates, right? How he himself actually kind of do an omni-channel. And if you haven't heard of the word omni-channel, you should. And really think about that if you have a brick and mortar type of settings or setup for your business, right? Because you are competing with Amazon, the big wigs, right? You're competing with Walmart. Here's another one that we're being silly. Yeah, let's just say that we took like a whole bunch of photos that day because I needed to give him because he was in a magazine with me, and he's an amazing, human being. Try to bring fun and creativeness in for kids and adults, right? And so he has ways to create where, as a brick and mortar store, how he sustained himself and also how he makes money during open hours because he has short open hours and during time that he's not opening, right? So yes, we're going to talk about him today and what he does, but it's not Jason who's here today. I'm sure you guys know who's going to be in here, right? Like, I'm sure you do. Here is another ways to help with autism. I made a journal for Rebel with a Cause. In journal, this is a journal, not the book yet. The book will be available on Kindle on September the 6th. You will get a QR code and where to find it and which country you're in you can buy. We're also going to have a physical book by September the 14th. And thank you for supporting our cause. You know that it always goes to scholarship for us for the next reiteration. Susanna will be leading that, and we will tell you what the theme is. Right now, it's a secret because we're still navigating with Rebel with a Cause, right? But it's going to be awesome. So go ahead and scan your QR code and help kids, young adults, and adults with autism. I don't have experience personally, like I could relate to this, other than our nephew does have autism. He's 24 this year, and I see that his parents' navigation on this, he's actually non-functioning, so it's more difficult. My daughter's best friend's brother also has autism, so I see the patience that you need with autism, and I think we need to be kind and compassionate. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that you can't be compassionate and doesn't mean you can't be kind, right? Oftentimes, when we don't know and it's unknown to us, we automatically dismiss the idea like, oh, it's not ours. It's, it could never happen to us, right? So let's not do that. Let's make sure that we can give compassion and understanding, even if you don't do it, even if you don't have anyone that you know close to you. So make sure that you show up for everybody and anyone in your community whom you can help, right? So, and then another thing that I wanted to show you is them um, magazines. This is the third iteration of Level Up Circle magazine. So this is for somebody, I'm not looking just anybody. I'm looking for the top transformational leaders out there. So think about this. If you've been a W-2 employee, you've been navigating to that waters, you've been excelling at what you do, and then at the end you're like, I'm burnout, I'm done. I don't want to do this thing anymore, right? Whatever the reasons are, and you created your business, or you have done consulting on the side and you transform lives, then you are whom I'm looking for, right? I'm not looking for just any business owners. I'm looking for a transformational leader business owner. I want to write about you, I want to celebrate you, and I want to get to know you. What are you doing for the community? This one will end, the sale will end on August 30th with the interview, the TV interview. The magazine will be open until September 15th because I got to get this thing out on the 30th, right? But the sale with the TV and a clickable link will end on the 30th. Technically, it's like two freebies with this one. So you go ahead and scan the QR code and you will navigate through there. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Are you guys ready? Actually, I'm going to do that later. I'm talking to myself out loud. How do you like them apples with ADHD? Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my mystery guest. Are you guys ready? Do you guys know who my mystery guest is? Do you? Do you? Let's see. One, two, three, and boom!
So much fun.
My go-to mystery guest. Because we have a lot of conversations, and yeah, I'm so tired. I literally was staying till like almost midnight having a conversation with certain government stuff officials in another country late last night when I was about to go to bed, but it was really fun. Um, I'm trying to do big things, guys, slowly. I have a secret mission. It's secret, so I can't tell you what it is. So, but just know that in this secret mission, sky's the limit if it materializes, and I can help more people. Um, and I'm watching you. Whoever that I see who's saying what they're saying of who they are and their actions towards their community is showing who they are. That alignment is special for me. A year from now, I'm manifesting it. I could possibly hire you to do what you love. To do what you love. That's what we want to do. We
Mhm.
don't get tired of being an employee and navigating through the waters of the cog. And at the end of the day, you still hate what you're doing, or maybe you love what you're doing, but the flexibility just, ugh, you can't do anything. Um, I can possibly employ you and do what you love. And I don't like micromanaging. I give you the task, you give me the results, we're good. I don't care if you're doing it at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, so long as you do it. I don't need to babysit you, right? That's what I'm manifesting. Imagine a job you can do whatever the heck you want and you're getting paid. Because some of you are doing everything you can, working so hard and slaving yourself, but you don't have the financial freedom right now. But imagine if I can give that to you and do what you love. So pray for me, okay? Pray for me that it will work. Sister, let's stick to the theme of how to navigate a brick and mortar business today. So before the show started, I was talking to Sister Susanna on some statistics. So we're going to start with statistics, right? So this year, there's about 33.2 million SBA, small business, not administration, small business owner, SBO, in the US. This is just the US. Now, this businesses is made up of 99.9% of all US businesses and are responsible for creating more than 1.5 million jobs per year. Think about that for a moment, okay? Now look around your town, your city, and how many malls that are still standing at 100% capacity where it was 15 years, 20 years ago. I guarantee you, your malls looks like a Walking Dead mall almost, right? It's not, there's no more big, like Coach is gone, Michael Kors is gone from my mall. It used to be there. Apple technically is still there. Sears is gone. JCPenney is barely hanging on. Macy's, they're barely hanging on, right? All of these big stuff. Why do you think that is? It's because Amazon is cannibalizing them. They're eating them out, basically out of their business, right? So, how do we navigate brick and mortar stores? So, think about this. If Amazon, Walmart, and maybe Target, I put Target like here, it's not a huge thing, right? But Target is still helping. So, all of these big one, Amazon and Walmart, they have a presence online and also on ground. I call that omni-channel, right? So if they're taking over our businesses because we want convenience, we want automation, we want everything quick and easy, quick and dirty, right? Which is great, convenience. But what you're not understanding is in the long run, it hurts us. And Susanna will give you an example soon. But here's the thing. I'm not saying that to support Amazon because I'm going to tell you what, I'm an Amazon freak too. Okay? Full disclosure. But, but when you don't have option anymore, when there is an oligopoly, that means there's a difference between oligopoly and monopoly. Monopoly just means you're the only one and there is no competition. And that is bad for us because if there is no competition, that person's business, not even a person at that point, it's an entity, they can actually increase their pricing and you can't do nothing about it, right? You don't want a monopoly. Federal government actually in the United States will sue you if they see a monopoly. However, there is an oligopoly. Now think about two big mobile phones right now. 20, 30 years ago, I was barely making like anything, and buying a cell phone at $200 was a pain. Like, oh my God, I have to pay $200 for my cell phone. Today, why do we not blink an eye for a $1,500, $2,000 phone? Inflation, really? That much? Right? Because you know why? You got to pay attention. There is an oligopoly. There are only two, Amazon and Samsung here, at least in the US. In the international world, there's Huawei, there's other options out there. Japan has a lot of other options. But in the US market, we are by far the world's like consumer. We suck everything because we want this, 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 and this. America is the number one customer of China and everybody else in the world. Okay, so they pay attention to our buying habits. Now, because we have an oligopoly, Samsung and iPhone, look at the most expensive phone for these two. I'm not the world. I just found out yesterday that there is a $1.2 million Apple iPhone 8 because it has diamonds and diamond buttons in there. I'm like, okay, we're not even going to talk about that. There's another cell phone out there called Virtuoso. Somebody just texted me on TikTok. They think that I can afford a $7,000 phone. And even if I can, would I buy it? No. Don't you guys know I'm cheap? I want coupons. I want discounts. I want collaboration. I want barter. That's who I am. I don't care if I have any money. I will always be that. That's my character, guys. I'm Filipino. I just like a navigation barter, right? And Sandra Gonzalez knows that. And this sister over here from another mister knows that because we did this on Podfest and they were like really amazing at giving me a pump. But here's the thing, when you have this two oligopoly, they're going to raise prices. So, Sana, what was your experience on price gouging and increase?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people saw it at the beginning of the pandemic because things that you could get before everything started getting locked down. I get this feeling a lot of people just went out and bought everything they could so that once they didn't see it on Amazon anymore, they're able to go in and resell at two, three, or more times the original price. But even right now, it's like one of my favorite setting sprays or setting powders, a Revlon one. I can I can get it in the store 11, $12 on Amazon. Even like 6 months ago, I was able to get it on Amazon at maybe $9, 8 to 9. Now the only one that's available, they want $20, and you just look at it and go, okay, I may love this setting powder, but I ain't spending $20 for it. It's not worth it.
It's now you wonder why people like fake stuff and alternative stuff, because it's not that they don't want the good stuff and the quality stuff, they can't afford it. Who are you kidding? Right? Who are you kidding? Like, there's just so much. You breathe wrong. You go. I hate going out too. And but like, Mom, why do you not like going out? I'm like, $100 here, $200 here, $300 here. Like, why? Why do I want to go out? Every time I go out, I'm like, oh, there's $600 going to be out of my wallet soon. Like,
Yeah.
having a kid going back to school shopping is, uh,
Yes.
especially mine. So that is the reason why I want to talk about this, and I'm glad that I talked to Jason about it, and Jason will someday be here, I promise. It's just that he had a family emergency late last night, like he felt so bad. But this is what I'm gonna tell you: how to navigate brick and mortar stores, right, in this Amazon era and e-commerce. We're automating everything, right? Susanna actually mentioned in the conversation about AI. We cannot stop AI, guys. You can dream. You can, like, oh my god, I wish it's not. We're moving forward. So stop going against a machine. Instead, use the machine to be for you. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you. You need to bulk up your hard skills. You need to research which AI. People just talk about AI like they talk about SEO and they don't understand what that means. Don't define it and think, oh, I know what it is. It's search engine optimization. Okay, what does it do? Search engine optimization. Okay, what does it do? Search engine up. Stop. What does it do? So the same thing when you're like, it's AI, artificial intelligence. I'm like, great. What does it do? Artificial intelligence. Okay, stop. Like, you need to research and have bulk up your hard skills, right? What does artificial intelligence do? Here's the thing that Jack Ma said. There's always going to be, if you think you're smart, there's always going to be someone smarter. AI actually is smarter than all of us combined, because guess what? It does. It combines everything that you put in there. And here's the scary part: the more millions of people, by the way, are using AI, the more that we're actually asking it, the better it gets. The more it studies our behavior, our nuances. Today, they don't have feelings yet. 50 years from now, they might, right? And then they're going to extrapolate that feelings and everything else into a humanoid, which, by the way, Japan already has. Humanoid, right? AI. I would like to get a maid AI, please. Like, I would love that right now. Hey, can you help me? Like, go this one, clean up with Chi Chi's mess, right? Like, seriously, I would love that. But the first thing that I want to talk to you about and how to navigate brick and mortar, um, Jason told me that Candyland, in order to survive, because it's next to a movie theater and you would think, oh, there's going to be a lot of candies and all of these, he actually is innovating. And this is what he says, I enhance my customer service experience. So even if I get one or two people, I rely on word of mouth. Boom. Number one reason why people buy your product and services is through word of mouth. That's true. Studies after studies after studies in marketing, which I teach and learn, is that. So he said, enhance your customer service. When you have one person, you gotta make sure that they're like the king and queen for the day, to make sure they understand that you want them, right, to give you that feedback. He goes, personalize the service, have some in-store events, close down the store and like have them taste candy, have an interactive displays, right? Like right now we have the Alien movie that came out. They have an alien toy that's just for the movie theater. Well, as soon as 1 hour opens up, the whole theater just gone. I happened to do it before it opened, so I got that toy for my husband. My husband's a 2-year-old, so he has that because right now it's nowhere to be found. He's like, what I do is I take those, put it in my store, and put some like candies in it, right, so that the kids can talk about it, something to talk about it interactively. What about you, sister? What are some of the things that you like when you go to Sephora or you go to Ulta? What is the first thing as a consumer that you would like to see?
Well, walking into the store, it really is the experience. It's how it feels. It's what you see. I mean, you asked that question. I think back to When I first moved to Oregon, there was a candy place that I always went to at the local mall. It had different flavored popcorns and candy and little knickknack toys and cards and stuff. And so that was, but it was an experience. And so you always remembered it. And whenever you saw the place, whether it was there or one of the other malls, it drew you in to see what they had, take a look at stuff, and and get something. When I walk into a Sephora, all of those for whether it's Sephora or Ulta, it really is the ambiance and the people. When I walk in that store, how do I feel by them? And that's why I always talk about my Sephora store, because when I walked into it, they knew who I was the minute I walked through the door, even if I hadn't talked with them. And that made a big difference for me, which is why I kept going back. And then being able to look at the products, being the introvert side of me, I always had to have a reason to talk to somebody. So like, okay, I want to go talk to this person. I need a reason. Then once I start the conversation, it opened up doors because I was able to ask more questions, get help, get ideas. And by one point, they were asking me what I was doing, and I'm looking at them going, "Well, uh, you know better than I do, don't you?"
You're like, I don't know about this conversation right now. Well, I think, sister, that you have come out of your shell quite a bit on a lot of things. And I know I apologize sometimes that I push you, but I'm sorry, but not sorry at the
I
same
know.
time because it helps you grow in your shell. Like you literally are growing out of your shell, which I love seeing. I see that you're right. You need a reason to come too. But I think now that you see me and other sisters, like, we don't need a reason. We just want to say hello, right? um that's when we kind of navigated. And I see my kids, like my oldest Angelina, she used to have like anxiety when I make her call, like
Mhm.
even to order a pizza she didn't want to do it, even to order anything, or like, mom, I want my nails done. Okay, call the place. No, I don't want to. Like she's that type. Like she gets scared. Bella's the opposite of that. Give me that
I know
phone.
that type very well. That was
Yeah,
me.
she's not. But now that she works in retail and sales, I'm so proud of her. She calls me and she's like, Mom, I did this today and I did this today, and you should be proud of me, Mom. I said, why? I got a discount today. Like she knows. She's like, I got a discount today. I asked them for it, and I don't know if they felt bad or they were like surprised that I asked, and they give it to me, Mom. It was 25% off. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. And then so in our family, my husband doesn't look up price. Like if you want it, fine. If you want two the same color, fine. Me, it's like, is that $20? And my kids are like, Mom, there is nothing $20 now. I'm like, well, you better think about something you want to buy within that $20. But clothes are like, I mean, freaking jogging pants is $85. Like, why? Right? It's so crazy. And I know that in China it's not that expensive. It's logistics. It's the taxes imposed. It's the flying, the boat, and all of these things that cost a lot of money. That's why it's the bulk. But I think someone's still making a lot of money of those things. So it's a little bit of that combination. But here is the kicker, right? Have you heard of omni-channel retailing before, sister?
I haven't.
Okay. So I actually have heard about this. I read it before, but I read, when you read, like when I ask you, like, or not you, but like anybody, what's SEO, search engine optimization? What is it, search engine optim? That was me, like omni-channel, omni-channel. Like I literally just know the definition, but I really didn't understand
Right.
how it works until I paid attention. So omni-channel is actually how Jason navigates his thing right now. He says that what he does is he sells online and of course on ground, right? Because he still has to pay for the lease place that he has to do. So he integrates online sales and offline sales, but also like click and collect services. So he would be like, hey, I can mail you, I can ship you all this candy, wherever you are, which is smart because if you just stay within your community and your community doesn't even come, doesn't support you, um, how are you going to make money, right? But online you can navigate with, you're not limited to that zip code. So omni-channeling is literally, it's like a hybrid sales, on ground and online. So now you know what omni-channel retailing is.
But it's becoming popular whether you know the definition or not.
Yeah.
I've run across somebody who had a store in Montana, but they have the store and they have the online store,
Yeah.
so that they can do, they're available to ship as well as
Pick up.
local,
Mm-hmm.
because their communities are like small communities.
Mm-hmm.
But once, and that's a lot of places, they're going to be in that small community of maybe even there's only 2,000 people in the town.
Yeah.
But if you have a good online presence, you can still be doing really well because you're reaching out to other people that would never have found you otherwise.
Yeah, but that's why I love omni-channeling. But here's another thing. I think during COVID, omni-channeling actually got popularized because people wanted to stay in business. But how are you going to stay in business if no one can come into your business? No one's
Mhm.
allowed to eat in your restaurants? Like, how are you going to navigate that? So, omni-channeling got popular, really popular during COVID because they're like, you can order on Uber Eats and then pick up in store, right? So it has become popularized. A lot of vendors actually, and I'm not talking about like little bit vendors, I'm talking about million billion dollar vendors on like machines. This is how I really navigated the understanding is through cybersecurity. When I would watch my husband talk to his clients, and I'm like, I don't understand. Why can't you just tell the client and here's the product and get it? And my husband's like, we don't do it like that because it's locked into the government and make sure that we're not directly selling the product. We have an omni channel or a warehouse and a partner alliance to collaborate with so that they can sell, all of this gear. But it's like, think of Best Buy. When you go to Best Buy, do you only see one product from Apple or one product from Samsung? No, you have options, right? So think of Best Buy when you think of omni-channel. They're literally just a warehouse where they have everything and anything that you need in store and that you could pick up that way. My husband orders it online and he picks it up in store, right? So if you have a brick and mortar store right now, think about that. Omni channeling in retail. Also, some people don't like TikTok, but Jason told me that he makes more money in TikTok than any other channels that he's doing. And he just started. Yeah. So the reason being is that TikTok actually incentivize business owners to create more buzz and get the customers to come in, and they reward business owners, and that's what I think we should actually do is reward business owners who are trying their best. What are your thoughts on that, sister?
Well, yeah, it's because all of these, you sit back and you look at these options, especially the mailing option, is what's going to be, how do you make sure that you're making money when you also have to include shipping? And then you
Mhm.
start trying to figure out what is that difference, because you've got so many places that you spend this much money and it ships free. And so you try to compete with that as well.
That's funny, Ollie.
Yeah, I remember seeing that earlier.
Well, Susanna is the salt and I'm the pepper. Okay, we're spicy together, that's all. and then
Exactly.
and then you add Danielle to that navigation. It's just really hot spicy tamales at that point.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, another thing that I noticed with Jason that he does is, have you guys have the chamoy? It's like, okay, first of all, let me back up. Where we're at, we are predominantly Hispanic community. We have a lot of Hispanic family in our area. So what you got to do is look at your area and look at what the locals like to eat. Okay. Once you figure that out, go to TikTok. Look up TikTok. It's like a database of information, literally. Some are dramatic though. So I actually he looked at TikTok. I said, okay, what is popular with the kids today? Then he asked, we have a local farmers market. He also asked people like, hey, what do you guys buy in school on candies? Have you tasted a pickled chamoy candy, sister?
Not me.
Your face. Oh my god, your face is everything right now. I would you would you eat one?
I really couldn't tell you.
I mean, I didn't. Okay, Bella is the one like, "Mom, I really want to eat this." And I was like, "Bella, are you going to be okay?" And she says, "Yeah, I'll be fine." And then she said, "I actually was scared when I opened it at school, so I shared with my friends and they all love it, so I tasted it." And apparently kids are crazy about these things. I tasted it. So chamoy, if you guys don't understand, it's like tamarind. It's very okay, think of lemons and lime married together and squeeze it in your mouth plus spice. Lemon and lime squeeze in your mouth and spice, like level 3 spice. What are your thoughts on that, sister?
Okay, I'm not quite the spice eater. And by the way, Danielle reached out and said she's brown sugar. Um,
Brown sugar. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This is if you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe to Esco Candyland. This is Jason. He only has 123 followers, and I'm trying to help him, get there. And this is his TikTok right here. But this is his shop, right? And oh my god, I love this cutie. So this is one of his thing. It's called chili sour bites. I know it's dried freeze, right? And he also does freeze dried candy farmers market. Remember I told you guys that he does that. And then I don't see his Dubai bar. He has a Dubai chocolate bar. It's literally chocolate with crunch inside, but the crunch is like gold leaf. Oh my god, it's so good. Um, my mouth is like ooh wee. Let me see if I. Oh, and he has some drinks sometimes that he does. I'm trying to get the pickle. Oh, there it is. This is one with cherry. This one, look at that, with cream. Wait, with chamoy sour juice. Whew.
so we're talking an actual pickle.
Oh, a natural pickle with
I would
cherry.
probably have to pass on the pickle there.
I don't like pickles either, but this one was like, it's so good. This one
Hmm.
he does a lot. So he basically goes to TikTok and kind of see what are some of the popular things that they have in there. And so put it this way, when he got this pickled candy, right? Uh it went like the sales went like 100%. Like all the kids wanting
Wow.
to buy it at his store and they were gone. He's like, "Oh, I have to make some more." And the reason for that's because he basically does things that are from TikTok, right? Like he
Uh-huh.
does all of these things and navigate through them. And I love that he's thinking outside the box by
Hmm.
focusing and leveraging social media and his locals, right? So he goes locally to farmers market, engage in social media, put it on TikTok, and then TikTok literally is giving him, money and budget to attract more people. And then he engages through locals, and then he also focused on community building. So he support like local causes. And he's like, hey, if you have a next party, I can be your candy bar, right? Candy bar. And then he collaborates with lots of local businesses to kind of like, if you need candy, so if you have like a little mini retail store that you and Danielle came in, he would put his candy there sometimes, right? Outside. Then he also adapt his smart move literally for brick and mortar is adapting to his local customers wants and needs and preferences. We
Right.
might not like pickles, but man, the kids over here in chamoy is like pickled heaven for them. So that's what he does, right? We might not like it, but the customer loves it. And so
Right.
what he does is he adapts to the change. And right now, like if you look at Dubai chocolate bar, you'll see it is super popular on TikTok. Well, he creates it. He doesn't buy it. He creates it in his store, his version of chocolate Dubai bar. And Bella and I came in there and we were the taste tester. And he's like, "Would you guys like taste?" I'm like, "What do you mean, would you like? You have to ask the sister from another Mr. Chocolate to taste me up, like, and that's what it was. And then he also streamlined his operations. So one day he does his inventory, like this is how much I need, because some of these things expire, right? So if you make so much and it expires, then guess what? You just lost money because you gotta throw that thing in the trash. So he has to streamline his operations and inventory to make sure that he has enough stock, but he doesn't have like too much of it. He'd rather have no more stock than too much of it
Oh
because he
yeah.
has a slimmer budget, right? And convenience. Like if you were to give him an advice, sister, what would it be for a brick and mortar?
I mean, he's what I'm hearing is he's doing so much of the things that make sense and quite. It's like how do you give advice to somebody who's already innovating? I think it's really keep keep playing with the ideas, and just because you see something on TikTok or someplace else, just keep thinking that better way to do it, because I get the feeling he's already doing that. He's already seeing stuff. He's making his own candy bar, so he's got that. Um, just think of ways, or even think of ways to maybe have a special package of the 5 or 6 candies that are the most popular, and have like a grab bag little box kind of deal that it's a little bit better price because you get them together, and it's going to be more than just getting the simple each of them, but it gives something different. It gives them something they like, but it's something different.
Um, I like that. He does. He's trying to innovate as much as he can, but just because he's innovating doesn't mean he cannot always, like for us, just because we know it doesn't mean we can't know it in a different way. And I love knowing a different way.
Yep.
Because we're not for everybody, right? Like even our learning styles is our learning styles, but that doesn't mean we can't learn other ways, right? So that's why the scarcity mindset's got to go, guys. Like when you're like, oh, I'm the best, I'm doing this because I'm the best of doing it. No, um, you're the best at the moment, and you should learn other ways of doing it, right? I think when you have a continuous, literally, I'm begging you, have a continuous learning mindset that you can never learn enough. It gets you in places and doors that opens up for you when you have that type of attitude. When you have an attitude that you think you're the best of everybody and you're above everybody, that's when people will feel your energy and that door slams in your face, because no one wants a person who's a know-it-all or have too much ego or have insecurities that their ego is puffing their chest up. We don't want those people, right? Because if you have continuous learning and you're humble about it, people more likely are going to gravitate. And besides, you're not smarter than anybody and everybody. At the moment you think you're smarter than people because you know something, that doesn't mean that people can't know about what you're knowing, right? So just stay humble and stay open to collaboration for sure. Um, What I wanted to show you, let's see if I can show you, is I can't do the music because YouTube will definitely kick my. Oh, we're at 1,022. Thanks. I didn't even look at that. Thank you, sister, for not telling me. But this is great because this is a great conversation that we're having. Even though Jason's not here, he did tell me what he does. So I want to show his work. Do you guys see
Not yet.
yet? Okay, so I'm going to show you.
There we go.
So I can't do the music because I don't want to have copyright issues. But these are dried freeze candies, and he puts different flavors. That one has a chamoy flavor. It's tamarind powder, basically. It's like sour and spicy at the same time. Um, but look at that. Don't you like? Oh, my mouth is watering right now just looking at it. But that's what he does. He innovates things, and no one is doing it the way he does it,
Right.
right? Let's see if I can. I gotta. I can't share with the music because I get in trouble. But look, this is during the bunny season, right? Like he gets a jar and he pops the puffer bunny and he puts it in, and the green grass is actually for sushi. I
Ah,
hope it's for the when you buy sushi, there's a sushi wrap like at the bottom, the green stuff. That's from sushi. But he does this, right? Like this is why people have to learn like you can innovate if you want to, right? And so like if you see this one, look at he's making like all of these things came from this and he's puffing it up, right? And this one like new spicy things. He innovates by like putting in a bag of candy that he just creates. Like these are just regular candy, right? Watch. These are regular Rolly Ranchers. Do you like Rolly Ranchers, sister? I like the apple one.
yeah.
Yeah. So all of these are Rolly Ranchers and they have Tajin. You can get this by the way from any store. He just puts it in on top while it was dried freeze. So now it's Chamoy Jolly Bites. I mean, right? Like that's the things that he does. This one, trying out sour gushers, like anything sour, people over here loves that. Again, because we're predominantly Hispanic community. Hispanic community likes chamoy. They like that sour thing, right? And other people actually likes it and enjoys it. These are just jelly bellies, like Jolie, right? But he adds spice to it, and then boom, it's a different thing. So
Exactly.
what I really want to let you guys know is that we're back to like, are you borrowing? Are you copying? Right? Because he's showing you technically how to do it. So technically, you can copy his way, right?
But you
But are
still
you,
don't get the details.
yeah, are you doing it the same or are you doing it differently? So he's trying to tell you that I encourage you to innovate, right? I encourage you to go out there and have fun.
Right.
He's not encouraging people to copy exactly step by step of what he does. And I definitely like if I do something like that with him, I'd be like, yeah, I got it from Esco Candyland. Like he does these things. Like so I watch people's YouTube, I watch people's like TikTok and what's new, but there's so many things that you can do. So let's go back to business, right? Like if you are an author and you like we do anthology on a box.
Right.
um, what are some of the things that you would want to give to somebody who wants to do an anthology? What would be your first um, advice other than be in our book club?
I- so to have an gotta have an idea as to what you want the theme of it is. You can't just throw an anthology together and say, I'm gonna have this and come join. You gotta have a theme. You gotta know what you want this book to say to other people, to the readers, and to those who are seeing it promoted everywheres, to understand what's that purpose, what's that focus.
So that's the first thing is theme. I'm trying to think, is that
And
what I do? I'm just really trying to reflect. Yeah, I
that's
do.
that's really what we do is we have the theme, and then we start create then we get to the point where we start doing the author's call based on that theme and giving them an idea of, at that point, then we can even give ideas as to what people could write about. Or it's like, reach out to us, let's talk about your story and see how it fits. It's like, yeah, you could write about this, you could write about that, you could put those together.
So the theme is great. Now, what is the hardest part of having an anthology?
From which side?
From us. Like, what is your, I don't think I have asked you this, but what is the hardest part of having an anthology?
It's the editing. It is reading those chapters and trying to make sure that they have a cohesive message throughout. How it's written, the editing is what takes so much time, but it also has the biggest impact for us,
Mm-hmm.
because how many times have we've read that first draft, we provide guidance, however that guidance is. Sometimes it's detailed, sometimes it's high level, here's ideas, and sometimes we look at it, it's like, I don't know where they're going. Others, it's like, I think they're going the wrong direction, this one looks great. But no matter what it is, they get our comments, and then they come back with a second draft, and we just sit back and go, wow.
I think this reiteration for me is definitely two people, Miguel and
Yes.
you're like, yes, Miguel and Angelica. Like, Angelica changed a whole lot after, and then Miguel was definitely a huge change. And Miguel, if you're watching a replay, I am so proud of you. I just want you to know,
Oh,
from the day I met you last year to today where you're at, I'm very proud of you. Um, and I mean that, not just the adversity that you have gone through, but the grit and the never giving up attitude and the perseverance that you have pushed and pushed for yourself at the moment. But when you look at the bigger picture, you're at the world stage now, bro. That's how I do it. We put you on the world stage, right? Um, because it's necessary. That would be my life commitment, is as long as I have this platform, I will always take you with me. Not for vanity, but for amplification of your message. That's really my commitment. And Danielle's like, my thoughts to navigate brick and mortar business is love, flexibility, trust, and empathy. I would say innovation. Um, well, you could have all of that in a package, but if you don't innovate, you will get left behind. Unfortunately, in today's world, it's even scarier. I'm going to stop there. So it's scarier because people are taking our social cultural trends right now as nothing, like it's just there. But in reality, it's been percolating for a moment. I don't know when the moment is going to come, but by the time that you see the moment, it'll be too late for you. So for us, you need to wake up and see what you want to do, what you want to be part of, and who you are, and align those together. I almost cursed there. Whew. Okay, I was self-aware at the moment. I'm like, who the you are? That's what I was about to say. I get really passionate, so I'm trying to calm down. Um,
yeah.
but just know that whatever you're navigating through, adversity and your past trauma, it's possible that you can step out of it. Don't retract, because you're not going to be able to help as many people as you can. Of course, you're helping others now, but imagine if you are helping more people that you can even possibly think of. Just because you pass your trauma and kind of, you're never going to get rid of it, by the way. I just want you to know you can't get rid of your trauma. It's there, it's part of you. But having to navigate through that trauma, like I'm gonna take one, trust. I have trust issues. Um, and I got let down when I was opening up for that trust issues. I got cannibalized. So discernment, knowing your own boundaries on your non-negotiables, and stop. The number one thing that we do is we make excuses for the people that we like. Stop making excuses for people. If they show you that that is their character, oh, because they're going through this and that, stop. You're making excuses. They're already showing you who they are. Accept it,
Hmm.
right? Accept it and move frick on, because that's who they are. I think innovation is definitely the number one way to stay in business with brick and mortar. And I've seen Jason collaborate. I cannot emphasize that word, collaborate. If he
Yeah.
does it on his own, he doesn't collaborate, he's not going to stay in business. But he's going to collaborate. He's going to collaborate. He's already doing some of these collaborations. So I encourage everybody to collaborate. Put your ego somewhere else, because it's not about you, it's about the project. And everyone wants to be seen, but you got to provide value so you can be heard. What do you think, sister?
I can't say anything other than that. That's it. The collaboration is what really jumps at me, because that's oftentimes collaboration is what creates more innovation. When you're able to work with somebody else and you come up with ideas, you're not having to do it by yourself. Yet at the same time, as you're creating ideas together, then your creative juices start flowing, and in your mind you're like, wait, I could do this and I could do this. And they might be solo projects, they might be collaborations with somebody else, they might be who you're working with, but it's more ideas, it's more innovations.
It's just like $7,000 phone. Bye. Right? I tell ya.
Yeah.
I tell ya. Um, Sister, try to look for, let's see if I can show you actually in here. Now I feel like a friggin' sales lady. I'm always selling. Sometimes it's books, sometimes it's products, sometimes it's services. Who knows? Let me see if I can share. Hold on. Because you all need to be paying attention to what is out there. This is my teacher side, and sometimes people think that I'm condescending because I teach you how to do things and I don't ask you what you know. Just keep in mind that that's me, a way of giving, right? Like you have to look at it from that perspective, not that I'm trying to be condescending, that I think I know more than you. I don't. Well, sometimes I do. I don't know everything, but I know quite a bit. I read
Yeah.
like nobody's business. I read fast, believe me. Um, so this is the $7,000 phone. It's called Virtue. Look it up. And yeah, all for men. This is the one. I love this gold one. I know it looks kind of weird, like what? 2014, 2018. Look at that. That's my favorite one. Did you see that one? That's my favorite one. So this is the high executive people that have like really cool phones that I really
Right.
afford. Yeah, those people. Anyhow, so let's say I want to buy this phone because I really like gold. Oh, this one's 85,000. Excuse me, Michelle. This one's $85,000. I could give you a discount, maybe. Like, yeah. Signature V Tanka Buddha, pure what? Pure gold, probably for 85, $97,000. Really? Oh wow, it's out of stock. It's only $96,000. Why not? Are you okay? 58,000 is quite a bit. Oh, 23, $22,000. Would you like $22,000 phone? They're all out of stock right now, but let's buy the $97,000. Why not? Do you want to pay Klarna, Visa, American Express, Discover? Let's go. Yeah, yeah. That's how they basically ruby buttoned. So the buttons in here is pure ruby. That's what they're basically telling you. And sapphire, right? Assistant services, the London Symphony Orchestra. So basically, they're telling you that the orchestra people are using Virtue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you know that that is quite an expensive phone. But at the end of the day, guys, it's not the material things that matters. It's your happiness and peace. And if you have negative energy coming your way, back to sender.
Exactly.
Bye. Any last minute words, sister, before we end?
I we need. I think most of us are missing that brick and mortar experience because the Amazons and the other thing you think about it too, the Amazons, the Targets, the WalMarts, they have everything, whether it's their brick and mortar store or online, but they don't have everything. And there are stores in the malls along the streets that have things that you never even knew existed, and so many of those, once you see them, it's not a, oh, I've got to have it. It's a, this makes so much sense. It's better than anything I can find on Amazon. I got to have it.
Yeah, so just be aware of that. And being in brick and mortar, support your locals, people. Okay. I try to always support my locals and I eat local. But let's do this life together and just be self aware of what we're doing and how we are making our footprints in on the world. Okay. Love
Yep.
you guys. See you Sunday. Sunday.
Sunday.
Tomorrow. There is a premiere for Group
Oh,
4 at
yep.
12 PST. And then Sunday, we will have our um, dynamic village audio room and music. Oh, and for the book club, we have our Zoom at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So Susanna and I literally are busy. Okay.
We show up.
Yeah. And then
I show
Sunday, we
up
have
tomorrow.
our
So
finals submission also. So, yes. Bye, everybody. We love
bye.
you. See ya. I think. Bye.